Hey kids, welcome to lesson 4, controlling memory with variables. Number 10, getting user input, a simple calculator. Ooh, this sounds exciting. Programs become even more interesting when we can interact with the user. A short way to ask a user for a number is with a prompt number command. This pops up a dialog box asking a user to enter a number. This very simple app demonstrates a new behavior, getting input from a user. You'll write a code to recreate this program on the next page, which I'm super excited about. But for this one, we have to do this. We're going to click Run on the app. We're going to be prompted for a number, and then we're going to enter it. We're going to be prompted for a second number, and then enter it, and then we're going to see what happens. We're going to rerun the program, enter different numbers until we get the idea. Click Finish, move on. All right, let's see what's going on here. Let's hit Run. It says enter the first number to divide. Let's put 10. Enter the second number to divide. I'm going to put 2. That should give me an answer of 5. It writes my division calculator. 10 divided by 2 is 5. Let's try again. First number, let's try 20. Let's divide that by 2. And then I get 10. My division calculator, 20 divided by 2, is 10. So what I think is happening here is it is asking me, instead of inputting a number through a box or code, for the user to input it through a box. This is probably something you've seen on websites quite a bit. So this is actually something very useful. When we're designing games, we could use this to put people's names into it, all sorts of things. So this is just a simple division calculator. And this looks like it is super fun to make. So I think I got the general idea of what they want me to here. So let's move on to the next lesson. Number 11, assigning user input to variables. Looks like we're going to build off our last lesson here, kids. Let's use prompt num to make a simple calculator. The prompt num command appears in the variable toolbox because it's typically used as a way to get a value from the user that you want to hold on to while the program runs. Prompt num is similar to random number in that it is a function whose return value evaluates to a number. The difference here is that prompt num pops up in an input box and waits for the user to type a number, where random number generates itself. So what they're really saying there is kind of like random number, prompt number is asking for a number input, but it's not specifically one yet. Once they do and hit OK, the number they typed return can be stored in a variable to use in our program. Do this. Write a program that acts as a simple calculator. An animation at the end, result is shown at the right. Ask the user to enter a number, then ask the user to enter a second number. Display the result of some calculation. The example shows division, but you may choose any of the other math functions as you like. We have given you the starting code that shows how to get the first number. The rest of the code is up to you. Let's take a look at our example here. This looks just like we had on the other page. You have a pop-up, it asks you for 2 numbers, and then it does something to get it. Let's take a look at our code. So right now I have write my division calculator, but I think I want to do addition. So I'm going to call my addition calculator. I have a variable num1, which is prompt num, enter the first number to divide. It is giving me an error because it says it's defined but not called. And I think we're going to get to that later. So I know I need to do this twice. So I'm going to make a variable num2, which is going to give me another pop-up box in which I'm going to ask the user enter the second number to be added. My first one still says divided, so I have to add to be added to that one as well. Don't forget your semicolon, and we are going to hit enter. Now I have 2 variables that defined, but they're not called, so I have to call them. So I'm going to comment this out, and this is just going to be my actual calculation part. I'm just going to call this calculation. And I think in this one, I want to have a variable called sum, and that is going to be equal to num1 plus num2. So that variable is going to pull whatever the user uses for 1 and 2 and add it. And then I want to write adding those, these have to be in quotation marks. Remember, I want it exactly like it. Adding those numbers, adding those numbers together equals, and I want to have a little colon in there, and then I want to string this together plus sum. So hopefully, when I hit run, it'll write adding those numbers together equals whatever the sum of num1 plus num2 is. Let's give this a try. I'm going to hit run, enter the first number to be added. I want 5. Second number to be added, I want 10. 5 plus 10 is 15, so that's what should pop up on my screen over here. Let's hit OK. Adding those numbers together equals 15. That's really good. Let's add a little to this real quick. I want to display what those numbers are. So I'm going to do my number 1 here, and I'm going to comment out number 2 here. And after this, I want to write out, or the num1 is. So I just want this to write variable num1. Down here, I'm going to do the same thing. I want to write whatever num2 is. But I just don't want it to just put the number. Let's actually have it say something. Let's put some quotation marks here. You selected quotation, and then let's string that together with a plus num. Do the same thing down here. You selected plus num2 and our semicolon. So now it should say my addition calculator, you selected the first number, the second number, and adding those numbers together equals that. So let's try that. Reset run. First number 10. Second number, let's make it 22. And we have you selected 10, you selected 22, adding those numbers together equals 32, which it does. So there is my first little calculator that I wrote. How fun is that? If we look up here, you can see I got everything that code wanted here, and I think I went a little above and beyond. Let's go ahead and hit finish and see if code.org wants anything else from us. Nope. Good job, kids. I'll see you on the next lesson.